going on, y'all? I am MJTV, and I'm back with another video. It's Monday night, so y'all already know it's Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. This is episode 4. But before we get into this video, if you have not subscribed to this channel, you know the drill. Stop what you're doing. Go down below, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you have that notification bell hit, so whenever I do post, you get notified. But let's get into this video, y'all. So tonight's episode, it started off, it's Jock and Carly, of course. Jock has his radio show on 94.5, I think, here in Atlanta. And Carly is a guest co-host for the day. So, of course, they, you know, doing their normal Carly and Jock thing. They flirting back and forth. But Carly tells him about her engagement party. And for some reason, she decided that she want to invite Jock. Now, I'm kind of like, with their history, I don't know if that's a good idea. You about to get engaged and you invite Jock to your engagement party. But Carly invites Jock to the party, of course. She tells him Jock to the party. She tells him about, you know, she just got certified to be a sex coach. Carly gonna be a sex coach. The elderly teaching a sex class. But okay, we'll go with it. But that was pretty much the start of the show. Them and their back and forth, of course. They flirting and, you know, doing a radio show or whatever. But that was pretty much that situation. All right, so then we have Akbar and Tiara. They go meet up at a gym. And I guess they have some history. They, you know, they say they've been knowing each other for years. Akbar from Atlanta. And I'm guessing that Tiara's from Atlanta. But they have a little bit of history. And, of course, normal Tiara fashion. Y'all, I'm about tired of Tiara. At this point, she goes into talking about Scrap, of course. You know, she said he home and oh, he just looks so good and he's so fine and I just want to be with him. She going doing all that what Tiara do, of course. And Akbar kind of looking at her like, sis. She tell her like that's devil. Like you don't need to mess with it. Like that's stuff that had you going crazy. And clearly, she going crazy. She going on about how she want to throw him a party, a welcome home party, and all of this stuff. And in the midst of that, I'm thinking, I forgot that Tiara, while Scrap been in jail, Tiara has had another baby, and she's been married. So I'm just trying to figure out, why is she still going so hard about that situation right there? It's almost like she a little bit obsessed with him. I'm a little bit worried for her. But we're going to get into that Tiara situation a little bit later. But Akbar is so hilarious. She definitely is going to be one of my favorites this season. I think she is definitely holding her own. She got those one-liners and those sayings. She told her that God's listening when she tell her that, you know, that she want to be with her baby dad. Now we get to Scrap and KK. They having a sit down. And Scrap's kind of pressuring her to ask questions about his dad. So he just found out that his dad is, of course, alive. I guess KK had been really not giving him many answers about his dad. And he kind of wanted to know more about that situation. Like, why don't I know my dad? Like, why didn't you tell me he was alive? But KK is shutting it down. She kind of like, no. So they immediately end that conversation. She's like, I don't want to talk about that. So then Scrap's kind of telling her, hey, Tiara's throwing me this party. And, you know, KK like, party? Why? Like, you could tell KK is definitely not here for Tiara, which I don't blame her. I'm not here for Tiara. She is definitely Team Moniece at this point. Now, I can't say is this Moniece and Scrap situation, is it just a storyline or are they in a real relationship? I don't really know about that. But you can definitely tell KK is definitely Team Moniece at this point. She is looking like, why does Tiara, like, what is her motives for going so hard right now with this situation? And like I said, Tiara was married and had another baby, all while Scrap's been in jail. So it's a little bit weird how hard she's. And you could tell Scrap right now is kind of wanting to take things slow, whether it's with, you know, Moniece or whoever is with. He's like, I just got out of jail. You know, I'm really just trying to pull myself back together. He's not even fully, you know, done with his, you know, conviction. He's, of course, in a halfway house, but he still has some time to, you know, before he's truly free. So he's not trying to jump in any relationship with anybody. But I'm trying to think about what other highlights of the show tonight. Oh, Scrappy and Bambi. Of course, we left off last week with Mama D and Bambi's mom having a little situation. And Mama D called her to meet her at a Motel 6. And she throw her a key like, here's your room, this way you're going to be staying. So, of course, Bambi's mom is calling Bambi like, this was going on, Mama D crazy, I don't want to deal with her. Like, she is pretty much over Mama D at this point. And now, Bambi is kind of pretty much at the end of her pregnancy, having to deal with all this. So, you know, she goes to pick her mom up from the Motel 6. Y'all, that Motel 6, it looked better than most Motel 6, I will say. Mama D picked a better one, I'll say that. But Bambi goes to pick her mom up, and they kind of have a little bit of a moment, and she kind of gives some of that background of their history, you know, about their relationship being kind of toxic for a while after Bambi's dad died a few years ago. And seeing how, you know, her mom kind of struggled with alcohol and not really being there for them. So you kind of, you know, Bambi's pregnant right now, so she kind of wants that support from her mom and not really to be trying to break up her and Mama D fighting. So, you know, we see them go through that, and it trips me out. As Bambi getting ready to leave, she turns back to her mom like, what you doing? You gonna stay here at the Motel 6? Like, come on, we gotta figure this out. So that's that situation. But I definitely like that dynamic between Bambi and Scrappy. They really have come a long way, I will say that. But of course, Mama D and his mama is definitely not mixing. I think they almost really the same people. So we see them have their like issues back and forth. Bambi and Scrappy still trying to find them a place to stay. At this point, Scrappy kind of finds a house. He like, you know, we got to get out of Mama D's house. Like, we got to get out of here. So he finds them a house, and they take both moms to go see the house. You can already tell they in the backseat complaining. Like, we thought we was going to get something to eat. And, you know, he trying to surprise all of them, because at this point, Bambi didn't even know that Scrappy had found a house. Now, before this, he gets them to apologize to each other so they can kind of smooth stuff out before he introduces them to the new house and all this. So they get to the house, and Scrappy's showing them, you know, like, this is the new house, and he's already moved some of their stuff in. And he makes the mistake of saying that Bambi mom had a room and she could stay there. Now, I don't know why he said that. That ticked Mama D off. Mama D howls out the door. She like, I'm out of here. She pissed at this point, like, how she got a room here? She like, what's... And Scrappy like, Mom, you literally stay right down the street. So that was tripping me out. Mama D like, I ain't having it. Like, I need a room here too. So it's kind of like the battle of the moms with that situation right there. And neither one of them seems to be that wrapped too tight. You could definitely tell that Bambi's mom has a little bit of some type of issue. I don't know what, you know, she did say alcohol, but it seems like something else. They seem a little weird to me, but. So now we get to Carly Red. You know, she's engaged and she's talking about having a baby. So she goes to the doctor and, you know, she's trying to see, is she healthy enough to have a baby? Can she physically carry a baby, and can she still produce and things like that? So, of course, everything kind of checks out. But, of course, her clock is ticking. Like, Carly Red not no spring chicken. If I can... not mistaken, Carly Red's daughter's like 30 years old. Carly looks really good for her age, but she definitely is not like some young girl. So she tells her, like, you know, I really want my boy. I want to have a boy, and because of modern science, I can have my boy. I'm like, these people be so obsessed with trying to pick these babies, and then they come out looking like test tubes babies. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. But she definitely is obsessed with wanting to have a baby. And I can, you know, I can see she only has one child, but I'm like, sis, like, you kind of up there. Like, why you want to do that to yourself right now? But that's what she want to do. So we see her at the doctor, and he gives her the all clear that, you know, everything seems okay, but we don't, you know, you don't know how that, what kind of complications will come along with a older pregnancy, if we'll say it like that. Okay, so now we get to Akbar and Moniece. Like, you know, I previously said last week that they have some history, and, you know, I think they met each other maybe a year ago, so they got a little bit of connection. Moniece goes to visit Akbar at the studio. You know, Akbar is a rapper, so Moniece like, oh, we can probably collaborate on some things. So they go to the studio, and they're having just a little bit of girl talk. And Akbar, you know, begins to tell her about her, you know, she just got a condo in Buckhead. Candy helped her move. So she definitely, you know, she fighting to get her kids back. And I think she got her oldest son. He's living with her now. And they kind of have a moment because if you can remember, for a while, Moniece didn't have full custody of her son. I think at one point, Fizz was pretty much raising him. So, you know, they have kind of a connection there because Akbar doesn't have, I'm thinking Akbar has at least maybe 5 kids. And I know she didn't have custody of them. I think maybe their dads and their grandparents had custody of them. So they have a little bit of a connection there. And you can tell Akbar gets a little bit emotional kind of talking about that. You know, the things she's went through and, you know, trying to come out of it. I definitely, like I said, I like her storyline. It's just, it's something real. And I feel like we haven't really seen that in a while. And I definitely think, you know, she's going to be a staple on the show. So, you know, her and Moniece are having their conversation. And she kind of tells Moniece about, they start talking about Tiara and Scrap. You know, they're throwing Scrap a party. And Moniece kind of like, what? She don't know nothing about that. So, but kind of like, is that your man or what, sis? Like, is that yours? Is it, what's going on? So Moniece tell her, like, you know, we've been intimate, things like that. So she like, well, sis, Tiara throwing him a whole party. And you can tell Moniece is instantly like, she kind of pissed off, like, that's my man. I don't know if they have a title or anything like that, but of course, you know, they've been intimate. So then tonight we get introduced to Jock's girlfriend. Now, I didn't know anything about Jock having a girlfriend. He definitely has kept this under wraps for the past 2 years, supposedly. Now, just last season, when they was in Texas, him and Carly was having a moment, even at last year's reunion. So that's kind of weird that he's been in a full relationship for the past 2 years. And he's in a relationship with a whole lawyer. A whole lawyer. She like an immigration lawyer. I'm like, how the hell her and Scrappy, not Scrappy, but how did her and Jock hook up? Either way it happens. So she finds the invitation, of course, that Carly Red gives Jock. And she wants to go to the party. She like, you know, we've been building this relationship. We have businesses together and we want to be together. So why can't we, you know, show people that we're together? So she's adamant about going to this party. And Jock, you could tell he like, why? But she definitely is adamant about going to this party. So I guess maybe next week we'll see if they actually go to the party. I think that Carly's engagement probably should be within maybe the next episode or the episode after that. Get to the party that Tiara is throwing for Scrap. And I'm thinking that it's thrown at Scrap's sister house. So they got just a few people there. It seems like his brother, the sister, maybe a few other family members are there. KK ain't nowhere to be found. You know, she don't want anything to do with Tiara. She wants to be nice so she can kind of see the grandson, but she's not interested in a relationship with Tiara. So they're all, you know, just having fun, like, you know, just laughing, talking, just socializing or whatever. And Tiara goes to give Scrap a gift, and she gives him a box with a key. Now she says the key is to her personal area and her house. And again, I'm kind of like, oh my God, here she go. It's like we beat a dead horse at this point because you can clearly tell he is not interested in her. And she is trying so hard to win this man back over. It's like it's almost forced at this point. Well, Miss Moniece, of course, like we said, Akbar tells her that, hey, it's going to be a party at so-and-so. So Moniece pulls up. She texts him, come outside. Scrap goes outside. Moniece is like, okay, why you ain't tell me about this party, you know? And he pretty much like, you know, it wasn't my party. It wasn't my place to tell because I wasn't throwing the party. So him and Moniece, they kind of had a little moment. They kiss or whatever. And he pulls off in the midst of the party like, skirt, skirt, gone. So then we see they looking for him like, what's Scrap at? And you can tell the brother like, oh, I'll go look, I'll see where he is. So I guess he goes to find Scrap, but of course, Scrap already done pulled off. So I'm guessing this a few days later maybe, or it could have been that same day. She goes to the sister house to find out like why he left the party and like what's going on. And, you know, she asking questions like, well, if you're not having sex with me, who you having sex with? And he just kind of, he trying to, you know, let her off easy and not really, you know, like, just kind of pass it on by. And Tiara kind of keeps going and keeps questioning him. And he's like, you know, I'm talking to somebody. He kind of like let the cat out of the bag that, of course, he's been communicating with Moniece. Now, she trying to, like, Moniece. Girl, you know who Moniece is. Stop playing. You know exactly who Scrap talking about. So he says Monique Slaughter. And she kind of throws shade at Moniece. And, you know, gets real pissed. And I think she asked him, you know, had they had sex. And I will say he was honest. He told her that, hey, they had been intimate. So she goes to throw hands at the man. And I'm kind of like, y'all, this man literally is staying in a halfway house. This man don't need to be in no trouble. I'm like, producers, jump in there real quick, because he don't need that kind of pressure right now. So she trying to fight, and she might have clocked him in the face. And I'm like, what is wrong with this girl? So she's spazzing out. Scrap like, I'm going upstairs, like, let her, you know, I'm trying to give her a chance to, you know, prove herself or whatever. But she literally is the same Tiara trying to fight and making it all about her. And I'm just trying to figure out, girl, if you was literally just married to somebody that had a baby, why are you still on this man like that? I don't understand that. Like, I wish his sister was home at that point, because she would have been just like this. Woo, 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 trying to fight. Like, for me, sis, I can't hit no female. My sister gonna get you for me. So she looking real crazy at this point. He locked her out the house. I don't blame her. Get out of that situation. That is definitely, if it's not Moniece, it ain't Tiara. Like, Scrap, you trying to rebuild your life. Let that be that. She could be baby mama, whatever. But tonight's episode was a little on the boring side tonight. That pretty much probably was the highlight of the show tonight, honestly. But hopefully next week, you know, they introduce Tokyo back in, and Spice and Mimi and all those people. It feels like it's so many people on here that we are having to literally chop it up each week and give a little bit of a different storylines each week, because there's so many doggone people. But yeah, that was tonight's episode. But if y'all caught the episode, let me know what you thought about the episode. Did you think it was good? Do you think, let me know. Do y'all think Tiara is doing absolutely too much at this point and she needs to let it go? I don't want to feel like I'm beating up on her, but I definitely think she needs to let it go. Y'all let me know, but I'm going to get out of here. But like I said, if you have not subscribed to this channel, before you leave, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you have your post notification on so you can be notified. But until next time, I'll see y'all later. Bye.